Hey Lupus Life Hackers, Janeen here from Lupus Health Shop. Welcome back to my channel, the #1 spot for lupus warriors who want to learn more on how to decrease symptoms naturally. Subscribe and click on that bell if you haven't already, because we are the #1 spot for a holistic approach to lupus. Smash that like button if you're ready to learn more on the most important factors that can drastically decrease inflammation. Are you 100% sure you know exactly what anti-inflammatory and antioxidants mean? If not, check out this video right here that goes into more detail on what it is, and then come back here to see how it affects lupus. So some examples of pro-inflammatory foods: dairy, gluten, yeast, corn-based products like tortilla chips, or any type of cereal, eggs, nightshades, which are common inflammatory foods, anything like that. So even though I was paleo, I couldn't eat all the delicious desserts that they had because they were full of so much carbs and sugar. For a couple of months, I was unable to eat these inflammatory foods, even though they were gluten-free and dairy-free, because of the carbs and sugars. Sugar is a carbohydrate. Some people think of it as an easy energy source. However, when sugar hits the mitochondria, it creates more oxidative stress. And I talked about that a couple videos ago, so click here to learn more about that. It creates more oxidative stress and is less efficient than when mitochondria burn fat for energy. That's what paleo is about, it's more fats. When we think of fats, when I say fats, we're talking about healthy fats. Grass-fed butter, nuts, seeds, avocado, oil. The fats that get oxidized are when we fry them, and our bodies then absorb the oxidized fats, and the oxidation becomes part of our bodies. I would have serious pain and inflammation, brain fog, sometimes itchy red rashes on my elbows, and that was because I was eating too much for my body to handle. There's too much overgrowth of bacteria and different candida issues that I was realizing that I had. So as I removed more, it got better, and I was able to let my body relax, recover, and heal. Now I can actually eat some of these foods. I can eat a cup of rice and not freak out. I can eat different types of desserts that are gluten-free and dairy-free and not have rashes or brain fog. It is invigorating to be able to feel free again. But as always, it's a treat, so it's not something that you should have all the time. So after these trigger foods, the other major source of oxidative stress for our body is overgrowth of bacteria in our large intestines. We regularly hear about the importance of taking a probiotic, but in many cases, it's not the lack of good bacteria, but an overgrowth of bad bacteria. And when we have an overgrowth of bad bacteria, there's only so much room in our body. So that means it's taking up the space that good bacteria needs to grow. So it's important to get rid of the bad bacteria before you can put the good bacteria back into your body. Hit the like button if you've learned something new already. So anti-inflammatory effects on lupus. When you think of anti-inflammatories, you're thinking of NSAIDs or steroids that help reduce inflammation, right? And you feel better, that's great. But if you have to keep taking them over and over again, that means it's not working and addressing the root problem. They also have horrible side effects. And if you're always taking them, which means they're only managing symptoms, they're not addressing the root issue. As you eat inflammatory foods, your lupus will get worse. This is because your immune system is constantly being bombarded with food that triggers inflammation in your body, and it's not working correctly, so it's going to continue to attack everything else. Your immune system is missing real bacteria and viruses it needs so that it can fight and stop attacking your body, and instead it attacks your body. Comment below if you're like me and you used to take Claritin, Benadryl, or NSAIDs to help control your lupus symptoms. I was definitely there at one point, but now I've learned that it's not the answer to solve the problem. It's just there to manage symptoms. So as you experience these symptoms, it's your body screaming and telling you, hey, stop what you're doing. You're making it worse in the long run, and it can't focus on healing because it's too busy putting out the fire. It's important to take a step back and reanalyze and shift our mindset from containing symptoms and trying to put out that fire into how we can prevent them. How can we do that? Well, the best thing to do is to remove foods that trigger pain, brain fog, GI symptoms, and replace them with foods that heal. And that way, you're not as reactive to everything. What this does is it prevents lupus symptoms because your body is able to dial down on the reactivity and focus on healing through proper nutrition. As your gut or your immune system is going through all of this, it stops being reactive and it starts to close the gaps where toxins used to leak out that caused all the inflammation. The overproduction of cytokines can be destructive too. And those with RA, for example, it attacks the joints. And those with lupus, it can attack your brain, your joints, your muscles, your skin, and so forth. Through my Remission program, we go through food sensitivity testing that allergy tests don't do. And that's why it works so well, because we're addressing sensitivities and intolerances and not just allergies. We also focus on super nutrition tactics. When you're constantly sick, you need more nutrition than a healthy person. And that way, your body has the right amount of nutrients to feel like it's prepared to take on the battle, and it can heal at the same time. Food is medicine, but it does take time because remember, you've been eating a certain way your entire life. So it might take a couple of weeks up to a couple of months, depending on how bad it is. And you'll know it'll work because your symptoms are going to disappear.
Like what you see so far, subscribe and click on the bell so you don't miss out next week on our new video. Now back to the topic of the week.
But it takes 3 things to work extra well: commitment, willingness to be open-minded, and change how you approach health problems and habits. Also, patience. So during your journey, we're going to tweak it weekly, sometimes even daily. All right, let's see how antioxidants affect lupus. Antioxidants can reduce inflammation. Because of this, many antioxidants act as an indirect anti-inflammatory. There are plenty of foods and spices that contain antioxidants. Fruits like kiwi, raspberries, and blueberries. Veggies like dark leafy vegetables like bok choy, spinach, kale, collard greens, Swiss chard. And of course, we can't leave out dark chocolate. That's a good antioxidant, as long as there's no added sugars, and it's about 70% and up is usually where I go. So here's how they work on reducing lupus symptoms. Vitamins A, C, and E, and minerals like selenium are thought to be particularly helpful in skincare. In addition to helping fortify cells against free radicals, vitamins A and C also encourage cell and tissue growth, helping the body repair itself. The body is a beautiful, majestic thing. It can repair itself no matter what it's gone through. And that's only if the proper nutrients that your body's lacking. So once you've eliminated your exposure to these triggers, you can help your body reverse the effects of oxidative stress by taking antioxidant supplements in tandem with food. The supplements are a temporary thing. This should not be something you take forever. It's only in the beginning when you need that extra push and the extra support. Then you'll be at a level where food is enough. So for example, vitamin C, it has immune support, it's an antihistamine and an antioxidant, and it's really good at fighting viruses in your body. Vitamin E, it's very important to choose a natural vitamin E and one that has all 8 versions. This helps the cell have protective effects. And of course, vitamin D. If your levels are not between 60 and 90, it's not therapeutic, which means it's not going to help as much. Vitamin D is mostly seen as an immune system booster. Recent studies do say it's an antioxidant, especially to be taken during when there's less exposure to the sun, which us sleepies are staying away from the sun, so make sure you're always taking it. CoQ10 is a well-known antioxidant, and its most recently developed form is better able to get inside cells and mitochondria. Glutathione. This is a really good one too. One of our best antioxidants, actually. The liposomal form ensures absorption into your body, and it helps, or it adds to what your body makes. And then lastly, selenium. This is a really good one. Potent antioxidant and immune support. This really helps fight bad bacteria and or yeast. Then your plan will also include herbs to kill bacteria that you don't want. And then after, you would put probiotics in, because once you have more room in your body, after killing off all the bad bacteria, probiotics will help the good bacteria inoculate in your gut. Now remember, although antioxidants are good for you, you don't want to take too much. That can be harmful. So make sure to always follow the recommended amount. Speaking of allergies earlier, have you had allergy testing and everything comes back fine, but you're still reacting and you're still having rashes to random things, right? Well, you haven't had a food sensitivity or an intolerance test. Next week, I'm going to explain exactly what each means before, during, and after your journey to remission. You don't want to miss out on that one. In the meantime, while you wait for that, check out these 2 videos right here to learn more on how to decrease symptoms naturally. Subs if you loved it, thumbs if you liked it. I appreciate your support, and I can't wait to see you guys next week.